Hello, my name is Trydar. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 sizes of Egyptian obelisks in Minecraft. Let's get started. So let's take a closer look at our obelisk here. As you can see, they come in 3 discrete sizes. They also come in a range of colors. We have for the medium and the large one, both the diorite and the granite have been switched with each other in the color scheme here. So as we go, you can build these out of any color combination you choose, perhaps dark prismarine and regular prismarine, or quartz and basalt might look nice, whichever you choose to use. But I'm going to be presenting them to you here in these 3 colors. So let's take a look here at some of the dimensions for these. Pretty much what you see is what you get with these. There's not too much to take a look at directly. So the small one here is 7 by 7 at the base here. They all have square bases. By 35 blocks tall up here to the diamond tip on the top here. The medium one is going to be 11 by 11 by 54 blocks tall. And the large one is going to be 15 by 15 by 74 blocks tall. So these sizes should fit any number of combinations you choose to use in your own worlds for your obelisk building. So let's start with the tutorials themselves. We're going to be doing the small, the medium, and then the large. And as we go, I should remark this entire world is available for download in the video description. So if anything from the video itself is unclear, you can come here and take a look for yourself. So we have a couple of materials lists. We're going to go through these in sequence when we get to them. So for the small one, for the reference model I have here that we will be demonstrating, you need 122 blocks of granite, 172 blocks of diorite, 64 blocks of basalt, 32 blocks of obsidian or polished black stone would be a good substitution for that, and 9 blocks of diamond, or if that's too expensive for you, I think also 9 blocks of gold would fit for the pinnacles at the top of the obelisk there. I believe that is what the Egyptians themselves actually used. Now these obelisks, they're a bit more stylized than the traditional Egyptian obelisk. I mostly did this for Minecraft because all we have are blocks. And obelisks themselves, they generally have a nice graceful taper from the bottom to the top, and sometimes they have hieroglyphs written down the center here. So I have done my best to replicate that in Minecraft, but with just more simple and geometric shapes. So, as I've said for the base here, this is, what was that, 7 by 7, I think? So, you just build that with a square out of basalt. And in the middle, I have not included this in the materials list, but I have filled all of these in solid with cobblestone. So if you want to choose, if you want to fill these in with cobblestone, there's only a little bit for the base on this one. I think there's about 1,000 cobblestone for the medium and for the medium one, and 4,000 for the large. But we have a very simple base that we're putting our obelisk on. We have the 7 by 7 base here, and we just have a simple design of basalt and incised obsidian squares, and that each face is the same. If we go up another 2 blocks, we have the lowest course of the obelisk here. You're building this pretty much out of diorite. We're going to need 4 blocks of diorite in the middle here, little cobble there, and from that you then want to build this shape here. You're building your diorite on the edges, and then you're filling in the middle with this 5 block pattern of granite, like you see down there. So now once you have done that with this this pattern here, like that, you then want to go from down here to the top up here. You then want to repeat that 22 times. So again, from down here to this point right here is going to be 22. As you can see, it's the same pattern, just repeated. You can block that straight up. And for the next bits, you then want to make this pattern here with the granite on the inside here and the diorite on the outside there. And these shapes are so simple that I'm not really doing the standard 2-block slices that I usually do for these, because I think you can very clearly just look at them and replicate them. They're quite simple. And over here for the pinnacle as well, it's very not complicated. What you see is what you get. We have just a diorite here. And on top of that, we have a simple design for the pinnacle for the diamond blocks. And remember, if the diamond block's a little bit too rich for you, you can use gold instead. Possibly also emerald blocks would look good up here. Any block that's sort of semi-rare you want to have at the top there. Just don't put cobblestone on the top of that. Make it a little bit special. So let us move on to the medium obelisk. For this, you will need 672 blocks of granite, 457 blocks of diorite, 104 blocks of basalt, 56 blocks of obsidian or polished black stone, and 9 blocks of diamond or gold. All right, so down here, this is the base. If memory serves, this was an 11 by 11. So you want to just look at this, pause the video, and build what you see. And as I've said, if you want to fill this in with solid cobblestone, you'll need about 1,000 cobblestone. So here for the base, it is now 4 blocks tall. It is incised with the obsidian that we did for the small one. But we have a little bit of a different pattern for those, and of course each of the 4 faces of this is the same. So once you have finished your base, you can begin building your obelisk. And here from the top down with a cobblestone filler, you can see that we have edges of granite, and the middle is filled in with diorite according to this pattern here. Going one more block up, we then add a little bit of detail. The edges are still the same with granite, but the inside we want to start poking a block in here in the middle with diorite until you get something resembling this here. And from this point right here, you want to extend that same pattern straight up for 14 blocks. And at this point, your obelisk should be a total of 19 blocks tall in total. So 14 blocks from there to there, and 19 in total. And we'll go up 2 more blocks here. I think 2 more. And we're adding this detail here with the diorite, and then we're setting it back just a little bit, making this pattern in here with the granite and the diorite. Like you see done there. All right, next phase, we're going up a little bit more. I think it's 2 more blocks up. So as you can see, here's what you built last time. So we're adding a bit more detail on the inside here with the diorite. You want to make it according to this pattern here, and we're also beginning to taper in our obelisks by 1 block right here on the sides. We're just chopping out those little bits right there. And of course, as I go, I'm showing you one face of the obelisk, but that's because all 4 faces are identical to the other one. So once you build one of these, you just want to go around your obelisk and do it 3 more times. All right, so next phase, 2 more blocks. We have tapered in our obelisk, as I said. So we now have the outer edges of granite and the inner core of diorite done according to this pattern here. And I believe I think I measured from this point right here, from this layer, you then want to extend that same pattern up for 12 blocks. Your obelisk should be now a total of 35 blocks tall from the base to this point here. And this is what the core of your obelisk will look like. You can see it looks exactly identical to the last phase. You have just extended everything straight up. Over here, let us go up 2 more blocks we now have the detail for the diorite here, just like we did down here for this. We are doing that again right here, except it's just it's set back into the obelisk a little bit more, as you see done here with the diorite. All right, let's go up 2 more blocks. We are tapering our obelisk in again over here, chopping out 1 block with the granite. And of course, we have the core is getting ever slimmer with the diorite here. This is now very reminiscent of our first obelisk we had down there, of the small one, like so. All right, next phase, 2 more blocks. We are adding in now 1 block of granite on the sides here and 5 blocks of diorite for the core in the middle. And from that point there, or rather from, I believe it's from this level here, that layer there, you then want to extend that up for 9 blocks. Your obelisk should be a total of 48 blocks tall at this phase. There's also a small detail of diorite here in the middle to begin capping everything off. Over here, 2 more blocks. We are now capping the whole thing off again with granite. We are done using the diorite, like you see done here. A little bit of cobble fill here at the top. And then on top of that, you just want to make this pinnacle again. I believe this pinnacle is identical to the small obelisk, but it's now at the height of the medium obelisk. All right, not too difficult. Now let us move on to the large obelisk to finish out the tutorial. Let us see what the bill of materials is going to be for this one. Now, I remarked earlier, if you want to fill this in with solid cobblestone, like I have done, you'll need roughly 4,000 cobblestone. So, the granite you will need for this one is 1,256 blocks of granite, 1,432 blocks of diorite, 152 blocks of basalt for the base. Also for the base, 72 blocks of obsidian or polished blackstone, and 25 blocks of diamond or gold. Now, I understand if you don't have 25 blocks of diamond sitting around, so feel free to make a substitution if you need to. Now, I believe these were, if memory serves, these were 15. I better look, or I tell you something wrong. I think they were 15. Yes. So 15 by 15 by 74. So you then want to lay out the corners 15 blocks apart. And this pattern here, it's roughly 5 blocks in the middle and 5 blocks on the sides. Then you want to extend that up. And then, of course, filling this in with 2 by 3 panels of obsidian. 3 of those on each side for a total of 12. Over here, let us begin building the base of our obelisk. In the middle here, these are going to be 5 blocks. And we're going to have 5 blocks here. Well, no. 4 blocks here, and then 3 here. Or rather, 3 here, 3 there, and then 1 on the side right there. All right, and then you just want to extend the diorite up. And in the middle, we want to make the granite according to this pattern here. We're doing the same thing we did on that obelisk over there. We're just doing it a little bit bigger for this one over here. So we're stepping back our granite like you see here on all 4 faces. We're sort of making a big X shape here. And then you want to extend that up. Once you get to this point here, you then want to just start extending that straight up. And from, I believe, this point down here, which I just talked about, you want to extend that up all the way for 18 blocks. Get to this point here, and your obelisk should be now a total of 24 blocks tall from the base to this point here. So, That from the top down. Let's take a look at the next phase. All right, from that point, we're going up 2 more blocks, and we are making this design here. Reminiscent of what we did with the medium obelisk, just a little bit bigger. And of course, all 4 faces are the same. All right, going up 2 more blocks. Let's take a look at this from the top down. And then closer here from the sides. We have little cutouts here because we are tapering in our obelisks at this level, just like we did with that one over there. We're doing a taper at this point here. All right, going up 2 more blocks, we have our full taper here. It's quite a big one. Like that there. Take a look at this from the top down. In the middle here, we have our core of granite and our cobblestone filling. This design right here, this is just the same as we did down there. It's just up here, but it's set in 1 additional block. All right, now I believe from this layer here, you then want to extend that straight up for a total of 16 blocks. For a 45 total, which means your obelisk should be 45 blocks tall at this level. There you go. All right, the next phase, going up 2 more blocks. We have the core of our obelisk shrinking a little bit. And this here, you are repeating what we did down here for this, but you're building it all again right here, except 1 block farther back. So let's go 2 blocks up from that. Take a look at the core from the top down, and we have another cutout for the taper of our obelisk here on the side. Done like so. Here, 2 more blocks. I think you can see patterns we have going with this. We have the full cutouts here on the side for that, and of course everything is tapering in from there. And it looks like I might have missed a block here. That should probably be cobblestone. A little bit of missing filling in there. Yep, definitely missed that one. But let's take a look at this from the top down. It's going to be one of these where we start extending things up again. And I think it's actually from this layer here. You then want to start extending that straight up with the granite core. And from that layer there, you then want to extend that straight up for a total of 14 blocks. And your obelisk should now be a total of 64 blocks tall. So as you can see, the more we extend the obelisk up, the shorter we make the segments by just a couple of blocks. So from that point over there, let us go up 2 more blocks right here and take a look at this. This is, of course, the repeating design that we have from down there. But we're at the top now, so we're making a little bit of a difference. We have diorite fill here. A little cutout there for that. Let's take a look at this from the top down. Very simple pattern. Here, 2 more blocks. You're just making now a big square here with a little detail of granite, and the rest of it's going to be diorite and cobble. Filled in like so. 2 more blocks. Here is the beginnings of the pinnacle of our obelisk. As you see down here, you're just extending everything straight up, but leaving these little cutouts on the side there. Placing our first couple of blocks of diamonds. Over here, 2 more blocks up. And you're just building it according to this very simple pattern here. from the top down. And then once you have done that, you then want to just put a couple of more blocks on top of that there. And then your large Egyptian obelisk will be complete. So I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial for the Egyptian obelisks. I use these all the time in my Egyptian construction, so I wanted to give them their own video so we can have that for future reference. So when I go and build larger Egyptian things, I can come back and refer you to this tutorial for the very detailed description of how to build the obelisks, so we can save time and those videos. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.